It's Saturday, so that means another Saturday Spotlight. Today we're going over this 11.5-inch BCM SBR. I fumbled that. This is a Smith Wesson lower on a BCM 11.5-inch upper. So this is a front sight post, obviously upper, and it has a AAC SDN6 suppressor at the very end, and under it is an AAC Flash Hider. So pretty good suppressor setup, pretty good muzzle device when you're not using the suppressor. And this thing latches on very solidly. The ratcheting tooth mechanism is a pretty cool suppressor attachment system. I don't see a lot of people running them, or a lot of manufacturers making them these days, but it's pretty easy and it's very solid, and really quiet. So this is a 30 cal can, but it's on a 5.56 build. This thing's just so big and has so much volume that this thing sounds so good. And it shoots so softly. This thing is not tuned in any way, shape, or form. It just has the standard buffer spring. But something about this suppressor itself, it just really tames the recoil on this thing, which there's not a ton to begin with, but it's super soft shooting. Handguard is just a drop-in quad rail. I don't even know the brand, to be honest with you. Okay, it's a Midwest Industries drop-in quad rail. Just standard. This, like I said, this thing was put together like in 2012, 2013, something like that, maybe even later, earlier than that. But this is just standard quad rail. It has an EOTech XPS 2.0, I believe this optic is, and you know, EOTechs, they're good to go. They're solid, so there's no complaints there. BCM bolt carrier group. This has a Geissele SSA flat face trigger right here. These flat face triggers are pretty neat. They make it feel even lighter than it is like with a curved trigger. So really like this trigger. Has a Magpul CTR stock, I believe this is. No, this is a SLK stock. Just like a smaller, more streamlined stock. Pretty standard. It has a BCM gunfighter. I think this is the Mod Zero grip. It has no beaver tail on it. Just a really slim, low profile grip, really comfortable. Magpul enhanced trigger guard to get rid of that flat trigger guard that pinches in your hand sometimes. And then to wrap it all up, we have a Frank Proctor Way of the Gun sling. Just a super minimal, slick sling setup. Just no padding, nothing. Pretty comfortable, actually. This gun does not weigh a ton, so you don't need a big sling to really, you know, support a heavy gun. So this gun is kind of near and dear to my heart because this is the first SBR that I actually got to shoot a lot. So this is my dad's SBR short barrel rifle, and he registered this back in like 2012 or 13, before I was even old enough to purchase a gun, you know, being 18. So he's always been into guns pretty heavily, so he SBR'd this thing and got this suppressor, AAC SDN6 suppressor. And I always thought it was just so much fun to shoot this because, you know, obviously like a 12, 13-year-old kid, you know, Call of Duty, just playing every afternoon after school, and then getting to actually come out to the range and shoot something like you play in the video games was always so cool to me growing up. So this gun has always had like a special place in my heart for shooting, and that basically covers it. This thing's pretty simple. This is my dad's build, like I said, and a couple things that I'm going to get for him. I'm gonna get him a rear sight because he has a front sight post already and he has no rear sight, which makes no sense. I mean, you know, always run a backup iron if you can. So I'm gonna get him one of those. He runs a mixture of steel mags, like Colt government issue mags, and P mags. So throw a rear sight on here, and I think that's all she needs. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you haven't, go back and check our Saturday Spotlight playlist. We have a ton of videos on there and we're adding to them monthly, so go check those out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Drop us a like, comment, and hit that subscribe button. We'll see you in the next one.